Hello everyone, Melanie here from CGL Recruiting, and today's topic is actually one that came from one of our subscribers. He raised the question of why am I not coming up in searches done by recruiters? It seems like the moment that I end one of my jobs after I have been laid off, I don't get called anymore by recruiters. Is there a reason for this? And the answer is yes. Before we get started, I would really appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to our channel, ring that bell for notifications, and give us a thumbs up if you feel like this video is helpful. Okay, let's dig into this question. Are you getting missed by recruiters on LinkedIn because you have ended your last job under the experience section? The answer is yes, if the recruiter is doing the search looking at current job titles only. Now, is that a common search? You bet it is. I'm going to show you this search live and show you how somebody is falling in and out of the job search. But let's talk a little bit more about it first to make sure we're all on the same page. So when you are let go from a company, it is very common to go under the dates, under the experience for that company, and end the date. And then once you end that date, you, according to LinkedIn, are no longer in a current role. Let me show you an example now of somebody who's done this. Let's take a look at a profile of someone who has ended their most recent job. In this case, you can see this person ended their employment in 2020 with this role of a senior accountant. Now, according to LinkedIn at this point, he does not have a current role. So this, of course, raises the question, should you end your employment on LinkedIn or should you just leave it going? Well, remember my primary rule, and I think every HR person will tell you exactly the same thing. You never lie or falsify information, whether it's on your LinkedIn profile or on your resume. Now, it's okay to leave it if you haven't ended it exactly on the day, and if you leave it for a couple months, it's okay if you haven't gotten in there and changed your LinkedIn profile yet, so don't panic. But you do need to make sure that when you have a chance, you do go back in there and you end that employment. Now, of course, everybody's now gonna give me comments on, but wait, I don't wanna fall out of the searches. Don't worry, I'm gonna show you how to not fall out of the searches. The way to do that is to add another experience. You're adding a job, which is you finding a job. Now, there is a right way and a wrong way to do this. Let me take a moment now to show you some people who have done it the right way and some people who have done it the wrong way. Let's take a look. So what we recommend that you do in order to combat this is to add an experience that shows that you are currently seeking employment. In this case, you can see that this individual's time ended in 2020, just like the other one. But above that, you can see where he has added currently seeking employment and started his dates to go from May 2020 to present. Now, he did a good job in adding this in, but he is still actually not quite doing this right. And the reason being is his job title now is showing as currently seeking opportunities, as opposed to the job title for the role that he's actually seeking. Let me show you how this is important. Let's first look at somebody who's done it right. This next person entered in a new one of currently seeking new opportunities, but for the job title, they put currently seeking EHS manager opportunity. Now LinkedIn recognizes EHS manager as their current job title. Now let me show you the back of LinkedIn when we look at LinkedIn Recruiter from the recruiter's perspective and show you how this makes people fall in and out of the searches. So what you're seeing on your screen now is LinkedIn Recruiter with a bunch of the search filters on the left-hand side. What I want to focus on is if I go up to job title, you will see that the default on job title is to include current or past people that are in that job title. Now, even though that is the default for this, that is not the way it is commonly searched by HR and recruiters. The reason for this is I don't want to see 40,000 people who have moved past the role of accountant or changed careers. If I'm looking for an accountant, I'm most likely going to look at people that are currently in the job title of accountant. So let's take a look by entering in that job title. I entered an accountant, and in this case, I included anybody current or past. And when I do this, you can see that this one individual did show up. Now let me go ahead and change the current or past to be just current. When I do this, you will see that this person falls out of the search. The only thing that I did different was change it from current or past to current. Now, if on his profile, he had actually listed his current title as currently seeking accountant opportunity, he would have come into the search. Let me show you an example of someone who did this well. This individual is an EHS manager. And if I enter EHS manager under the job title and I choose to include either current or past, you can see this person comes up in the search. Now, if I go ahead and change that to change it only to look at current individuals in that EHS manager, look what happens. This person still comes up in my search. Again, the reason for that is LinkedIn shows his current job title as EHS manager. It does not care that he's got a bunch of other text in there. So it's okay to still say currently seeking EHS manager opportunity. As long as he has that EHS manager in there, he is going to come up in my search. Now here actually is an added benefit of actually ending the employment and putting in that new one where you're searching for a job. When you have a company that you've listed your job title, you usually just put one job title or maybe two if you're trying to translate it into something that's more industry recognized. But when you do it where you're listing your own company and saying currently seeking, you can list multiple job titles. You could say engineer, mechanical engineer, manufacturing engineer, and other job titles that'll fit in that job title field. Now there is a limit to how many you can fit, and I also, please, I'm not saying to put 10 job titles here, but it is a place that you can put even 3, 4 that will actually trigger as a current role when the LinkedIn search is done. And the way that the search works, it does not care that the job title, if you're only catching part of it or catching all of it. So hopefully by seeing this behind the scenes of how it looks on LinkedIn Recruiter helps you understand why it is important that you do add this additional experience so you don't fall out of this search. Remember, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get you past all these applicant tracking systems, all of these search filters, so you actually get to talk to a person and explain just how great you are for this role. Thanks again for watching. I do hope, please, that you will share this video with other job seekers who may be struggling with their job search. We're all in this together. Thanks.